did he tell you?
Okay, here we go. Folks, have your pencil and paper handy, because no one has access to this material. This is the first show I've ever given it on. You're the first one to know it, and you'll get it no other place on the face of the earth. Believe me, over 85 years of age. Nearly died last winter. I mean, Alex, okay, here we go. You ready? I'm just going to give you one statement after the other, and I'll elaborate on them somewhat as we go along.
I'm ready.
He said, and this is completely different, Alex. I mean, most people haven't even thought about this yet. He said, within 2 years, you will not recognize America. Oh, my goodness. When he said that, my mind went 1,000 miles an hour. By the way, when I was in the studio the other day making these DVDs, the studio owner came in and he said, wait a minute, you can't put that in. He said, you cut that out. He said, it'd be too dangerous to even put that in my studio. And we did. We cut one little segment out because he said, you can't make that statement. He said, it'll fall back on us as a studio. Now, let me keep going here.
This is like Russia. It's none of the guy's business where you're videotaping something in a studio, but the average American's been programmed to be like a Soviet Nazi. You cut out, well, you say whatever you want here. You tell us what's not in the DVD. Lindsey, tell us.
Well, he said, this gentleman, one of them, he knows everything that goes on behind closed doors. You're talking about D8, D10, I don't care what it is. This man knows what it is. He knows he doesn't have much more of his life. He said, quote, within 2 years, you will not recognize America. And the first thing I wanted to know is, what are you talking about? He said then, we have altered our timeline. I'm going to put it this way. The elite have altered their timeline. Now, you'll remember back 2 years ago, I said the price of crude oil is going from $147 to $50 a barrel. He also said some other thing. Oh, Alex, I'll get into this as we go along. He said, McCain is our man. I did not have the slightest idea how important this was. And I'm going to tell you in a few moments, this Obama guy is in trouble. The elite have altered their timeline. After 2 and a year, he said again, after 2 years, Alex, please, I hope every one of your people out there write this down. And when you think about buying Alex Jones' new DVD, don't you hesitate 1 second, because here it is right here. This gentleman said, after 2 years, you will be so poor, you will not be able to rebel. Alex, I was stunned. I mean, this man went on and on and on with what they're doing. Why will you be so poor after 2 years? He kept using the expression 2 years. They have a new timeline. You know, people can stand outside and watch these people as they go in, and you've done a marvelous job of telling what you see whenever they go into these meetings. No way in this world could a person ever talk to one of them himself unless he was under this particular situation with this man, this age, and his physical condition as it is, and he literally poured it all out. He said, after 2 years, you'll be so poor, you won't be able to buy my DVD or Alex Jones DVD. You won't be able to get this material out. They have it planned, and whenever I go into some of the things that is how they're going to bring this about. Okay, I'll give you another one, and I'm going to go back and elaborate on these more. Inflation will escalate over a period of 2 years. You'll remember back 2 years ago, this gentleman said to me, we're going to have inflation, and I kept predicting it was going to take place in a year to a year and a half, and I'm saying now they have altered their timeline to the point that inflation will take place and escalate over a period of 2 years, and by the end of that 2 years, the dollar will have so collapsed and inflation will be so high that there's no way in this world you'll even be able to afford that airline ticket to go to some Boston Tea Party somewhere. They have it planned within they feel like they have it made. I mean, they literally think that they have everything in the bag. They've got it right where they want it. You poor, oh my goodness, you poor, stupid, dumb Americans. I mean, they think they're laughing at you. I mean, this gentleman...
Well, Lindsey, let me stop you.
Are laughing at the Americans.
Let me stop you. Earlier, I read Club of Rome documents where they said we're going to destroy the economy by design. Maurice Strong at the UN in '92 said through carbon tax, we will destroy the industrial economy. They admit this, and now Schwarzenegger is announcing he's going to ban 40-inch TVs. They're announcing animal ID, premises ID. They're announcing they're going to shut down small markets and bazaars and garage sales. They're announcing troops to be deployed on the streets. They're openly admitting they want to destroy our industry, but you're talking this high-level elitist who's given you other good intel in the past, and he was going further specifically that they are doing this to destroy the economy. They've stolen tens of trillions of our own money. They're hoarding the money. They're not loaning it. That's even mainstream news. Government's taking over society. Go through the bullet points and then go back over them. So he's saying in the next 2 years, they're bringing us into a full-bore depression.
They already have a timeline set. They have a date set, Alex. I mean, I was so appalled. He never did this before.
Did he say, okay, well, he's spilling his guts. Did he say, are they going to do it with the stock market crash, or is it going to be incremental? Give us the, because I know you were taking notes.
Yeah, he went on to say all of this. Okay, here's the next one. Inflation will escalate over a period of 2 years, and they're going to do this by design plan. I actually have a schedule of events in chronological order. Alex, this would take a whole show within itself.
We'll go over it.
A schedule of events in chronological order over the next 2 years of what they're going to do. And if you know what the schedule of events is, you will be able to follow it and design your own family's dinner table and your job. Okay, let me go back to the main lines here. Inflation will escalate over a period of 2 years. Crude oil prices will remain somewhere around this. They may spike up. They may spike down a little bit. And then, Alex, I asked him about gold and silver. And this is something I did not ask him about 2 years ago. And you asked me on your show, I think it was last time I was on, about gold and silver. Numbers of other talk show hosts have asked me the same thing. I couldn't answer it, so I asked him the question. I said, what about gold and silver? Are you ready? I mean, this is going to be startling also, and it'll definitely help you know exactly what to do.
Okay, I don't know what you're going to say. Tell me, Lindsey.
He said, gold and silver are all you can rely on. He said, this is our money. This is what they use. Have you ever thought about the fact that when you go in there to buy it, you don't pay any state sales tax? There's no regulations. There's no records kept. You can buy and sell amongst yourselves. Gold and silver is their currency. They don't depend on paper. They laugh at these Federal Reserve notes and this paper that's going up and down like a yo-yo. He said, gold and silver are all you can depend on. I'll put it in his exact words. He said, gold and silver are all you can rely on. Now, folks, you take the statement and go with it any way you want to. You gold dealers do with it what you want to. But I'm just telling you what he said. You cannot depend on the Federal Reserve note. It's on its way out. By 2012, the dollar will be dead. Folks, please, I beg of you, listen to what Alex Jones is saying. He's telling you things that I know you feel are difficult to believe. I'm telling you exactly what one of the elitists themselves said.
Well, they're openly saying in the newspaper, they're going to kill the dollar now. Please continue, Lindsey.
This one, Alex, and this one would take a whole program within itself, too. War, you ready? Folks, this is stunning. This is startling. War is planned after 2 years. Now, I'm sorry. This shook me to no end. And I asked him to elaborate. And he even said where it's going to take place. And he said where it'll start and how it'll spread. It's already planned. I mean...
Well, Lindsey, we're going to tell people about the DVD where you lay this out over 3 hours. We're going to have you back on tomorrow for part 2 of this, if you can do it. If not, Wednesday. But tell us what region, because I mean, last time you laid your money where your mouth is with the oil prediction from him. You were right. Where is he saying? The intel I've got from the Rand Corporation and the Pentagon is they're going to start wars in Eastern Europe, wars in Central Asia, and wars in the Middle East simultaneously on the order of World War II.
It's going to start in Iran. It'll start around that Middle East area. And it will more than likely be in relationship to Iran and Israel, and it will spread to the entire world. I'll elaborate more and more on that later.
But he says they're waiting for 2 years.
He said you've got a 2-year timeline. Okay, folks, please listen to me. You positively must take action immediately, or your children and your grandchildren will forever be slaves to the elite. Folks,
Lindsey, I've never heard you with this much earnest in your voice, and that's how I am. It's coming down. I've never seen them move this quick. I can't even believe the lightning speed they're implementing everything.
The elite are laughing at us. Alex, I am so stunned. You know why they... Okay, I've got so much here, I don't even know where to go. You know why the elite altered their timeline? You know why. But I want to give it to you as they said it. The elite have altered their timeline because you gave them $2.5 trillion in the last 2 months of the Bush administration. Folks, you've got to hear this in depth. I mean, this would take the longest to go into why. I'll tell you briefly. Just before Bush left office, they had created an artificial crisis. It really didn't exist. Isn't it amazing that crisis isn't out there anymore right now?
They came out and badmouthed the market and said we'd have a depression, and it went down a couple thousand points. They admit the Congress admits they were terrorized into it.